What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Cookie DAO being resilient, as it always is, shaking people out, faking people out, doing all this stuff. Volatile. That's the name of the game with this thing. It's actually a very tradable coin, even on the way down, even on the way sideways, even on the way up. There's just moments where, if you're paying attention, you could actually trade this thing pretty well. I should probably trade it more often, honestly. It is one of the more tradable coins. If we're looking at this here, finding resistance at this oversold area on the 1 hour RSI, pulling back a little bit. You're at the 50 now. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this would be an area that you expect to find support at. You did move up with a little bit of volume here. You topped off with volume, I should say, and you're moving down without so much volume, but you're actually moving down with more volume than you moved up with, if we're actually being fair. So low to high here, right at the 0.5. The way this 1 hour candle looks, I don't think you'll find support here. If you were going to, I think you would have done it already. So you're probably going to go lower. Lower at least to the next level, 61869. By the way, I absolutely, before we get too much further, and we'll get into it, but I absolutely believe we're going to go to lower lows, okay? Nothing's changed on that front. Absolutely nothing's changed on that front. We're just finding resistance here at prior resistance, right? It's just a little bit of volatility. It's kind of a W. It's kind of like a little mini W. It's such a weird little W down there. And you have the M up here, right? But this one I think is a false W. I don't think, typically if it's a successful W, right, where the W starts, if it's successful, you go through that. But whenever you stop at it or below it, that's whenever it's a failed W, you tend to actually come down, right? It's like the M pattern here. Or let me see if I can find, yeah, like this right here. See? And maybe, actually, maybe not. Depends on how you would draw it. I don't know. Let me see if I can find one that has a good example of this. Maybe not. That's okay. I don't want to spend too much time on this anyways. Yeah, that's okay. I'm sure there are. I'm just like skimming and I'm not looking thoroughly, but I was going to say here's a W, but I don't know. Did the W start all the way back here? Did it start right here? Like I don't know. It's another, to me it's a failed W, but this is a successful M pattern, right? And typically with W's or with M's, right, if they are successful, you do kind of stop right above or below where the beginning was. So if our M pattern started right here, it makes sense that we're stopping right here just below it. That tends to be the case. You consolidate and then you move down lower for that final kind of move or more. It doesn't have to be a final move, but that's in my experience with these M and W patterns, what I've seen and what I was taught whenever I learned about them. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, I'm assuming a bearish perspective. It would be bullish if you could bounce here, but it's looking like you're not going to. You probably will go lower. I would expect, in traditional fashion with Cookie DAO, that you're going to find a little bit of turbulence on your way down. You'll probably find support at about $2.10, $2.11, somewhere in there. Move back up maybe to this exact price you're at now. I'm saying $2.10. What is wrong with me? I'm sorry. 21 cents. 21 cents to 21.1 cents. Okay, my bad. 21.1 cents to 21 cents to 21.1 cents. Damn it. I'm sorry. That's the area that we go to. And then from there, pull back up to this area, which is 21.4 cents. So really not that big of a pivot, but some kind of volatility here on the way down. And inevitably, you will be working your way down to about 19.79 to 19.11 cents. This is the area that I ultimately expect that we're going to go to. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to, is something down in this zone. Could you go lower? Absolutely, you could. The 1886200 level is something that's been respected a lot this past like couple of months actually. So 18.6 cents, 18.4 cents, very possible outcome. I'm sticking with 19.11 to 19.8 being the target area, with a specific emphasis on this 19.5 cent zone. That's where I think we're going to go. That emphasis comes from, and if we put it here, 19.5 cents, right? That's where that 1414 was. Oftentimes you go a little bit below that target too, though. Right there, 19.5 cents. Beyond just the relative fib extensions, if we're looking at this from an overall low to high, the 382 retracement, it's perfect right there with that line. What else is perfect with that line? Even if I don't use the fibs. So if I use the extensions, we get this line. If I use the retracements, we get this line. If I use my eyeballs and we put it right at the high daily close right there, we use this line. There's so much support right here that it makes a whole lot of sense that we're having a hell of a time getting down there. There are people who are like me, maybe like you, who buy ahead of time. Instead of buying here, they're buying ahead of schedule, which is good. It's a good practice, honestly, because I my thought here is, why wait for this? This is not promised. I have this price right now. Even if it goes down, it's not even a 10% drop from here. I'll just eat that. And whenever it goes up, it's going to be dramatically higher. So it's like, screw it, I'll just get in now. But if you want to wait for that drop, you want to try and catch the absolute low. Maybe it's a matter of a badge of honor, of feeling good about yourself, or just it's just how your style is to buy near that lower target as close as you can get. There's nothing wrong with buying here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Ever since we've been below 25 cents, 24 cents, I've been advocating for the buy on Cookie DAO. But I've definitely not been advocating for us to move up. Absolutely. This whole damn time since we were here, I talked about having a fake out move to the upside. We were here. I talked about us having a retracement exactly to 26 to 27 cents, which is where we went. And this whole way through, even with the little pivots that we've thrown in, the end goal has always been somewhere between 21 to 18 cents or 18 and a half cents, with a more refined area over the past week of 19 and a half cents, right? We've done pretty well with Cookie. Really, I mean, throughout this whole, I definitely expected that we'd find resistance at various prices here. I'm glad I didn't sell, right? Hindsight, it's like, I wish I sold here. I feel like I was pretty inaccurate on the move up, but ever since the top, I've been fairly accurate. But that's why you don't sell. You never know when you're going to be right. You never know when you're going to be wrong. It makes all the sense in the world to sell here. But what if it didn't? What if it just keeps going up? You know what I mean? Let's see if we can find an example of that real quick. Yeah, here you are at your all-time highs. It makes all the sense in the world to sell here, right? Double top, a little bit of resistance, but if you sold, you would have gotten screwed. And then if you wait, you would have had another opportunity. This is crypto, man, but very volatile. But inevitably, Cookie DAO, 21.4 cents now. You will see prices that are at new all-time highs. You will achieve $1.65 to $3.90. Anything and everything in this area is attainable. Even targets up here, but I doubt it. I'm not really considering these targets. I accept it as a possibility, but understand that if we're talking about those targets, man, you're talking about an overall like 100x move in just one fell swoop. I don't think so, right? This in itself, this move here from a low to a high, that was a 42x. That's impressive. I don't even know if we'll get that, right? From a low to a high here, this would be a 23x, very possible. $1.65, yeah, we could see that. $3.90. It's a little bit more than a 42x. It's a 52x. We could see something that's bigger than that, but something similar or comparable to that kind of growth, maybe just above the 1414. It's very common with the 1414 to interact with prices just above it. You kind of wick above it and then close below it. That's the interaction we expect in the same day. $2.65, $2.50, something on the lines of like a 35x to a 38x, you know, anything and everything in between. That's kind of what I'm expecting personally. Something that's just above 235 there, but probably below 270. But anything and everything is possible between $1.65 and $3.90. And inevitably, I think we're going to get there probably by the end of July. And then whenever it comes to the end of this year, going later into the cycle, I very much do anticipate that we'll see prices that are dramatically higher at $20 and beyond, right? We're looking at Cookie DAO here. Cookie, $117 million market cap. All right. Let's see. I want to ask Grok something, actually. Hold on here. Let's ask Grok. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. How many Cookie coins will be in circulation? Let's just say in October, because I think that the bull cycle is going to last for Bitcoin till October, and then for altcoins till November of this year. It's very possible that we go on later, that this cycle actually extends, because we do have really strong and healthy structure. And from what I've learned, this is from way back when I was learning about like the fundamentals of technical analysis and like the basics. This kind of structure, you guys, right? We've never had this in a bull market. We've literally, people say this cycle's different. Everybody says this cycle's different. It's always the same, and they are always the same to some degree as far as seasonality goes. But this cycle really is different. We've never had this many long constructive consolidation, and they are always constructive. Always constructive. Look, what's constructive mean? Low, and I'm talking about Bitcoin right now, but this, I have a point with Cookie. Okay, this is going to go to the point of what I'm doing here. Finding support at prior resistance. Finding support at prior support right there. Finding support. Oh no, okay, not right there, but still, relative to this structure here, it's very healthy, right? Here you found support right at prior resistance here, prior support here, kind of in the heart of this range, but it was a no-nothing kind of consolidation phase, right? When you found support here, you found direct support right at prior areas of resistance, right around your all-time high area of the last cycle, finding support, and really where you closed at the lowest point was a lot closer to these closing highs, right? Just dramatically immaculate support consolidating right above your all-time highs from a prior cycle. And then as you move up again and you consolidate again, you're finding support again right at the top. I mean, just look at all these lines, man. Look at this graph. All these consolidation, these large consolidation phases are finding direct support at their prior areas of resistance every single time. It's absurdly bullish. We've never had this, right? Whenever my first crypto cycle, I was told that because we're moving at an unprecedented rate and we don't have long phases of consolidation, we're not stair-stepping in a healthy way, this is unsustainable and we're likely going to crash. And crash we did. We had blow-off tops every single time. But we even kind of, we didn't have a blow-off top last time, but we moved up at a very fast pace, and it took us a while. We didn't start moving up. We didn't keep moving up after that because we moved at such an unprecedented rate. Here, there's no unprecedented growth. It's all very calculated and structured. All I'm trying to say is I'm expecting the cycle, and the whole expectation for years now, since 2022, from my end, has been that the cycle would end in October of 2025. And only recently has that changed. And it's not as a means of coping. It's a means of just looking at how the cycle's developed so far. It's much healthier and more constructive than anything we've ever seen. Maybe the cycle ends in 2026. It is possible. But assuming that the cycle ends in probably, if Bitcoin ends in October for its bull cycle, altcoins will likely end in November. I just want to ask how many coins will be in October of this year. Okay. Cookie coins. Cookie DAO. Let's just see. Because he'll be able to do the calculations. It'll be a rough calculation, whatever. I could have him deep search or think, but yeah. Let's see. But you can do it. Come on, man. I know you don't have access to real-time data, but token burns. No. This is wrong. No, there's not there's not that many cookies, guys. No. I said cookie DAO, Grok. Let's see. Market cap is 117 million. Total supply right now, circulating supply is 540. Yeah, so something's wrong. So Grok did not help at all. I'm just trying to get, I just want to get the circulating supply that will exist whenever it is October. But I don't care, man. I mean, as far as token unlocks go, nothing crazy is happening between now and then, right? A lot of the unlocks happen at the end of this year, more so than like the pace really picks up. I would say probably at the end of this year rather than right here. I don't even know if this is an accurate representation, but all I'm trying to say is if we're looking at the market cap, damn it, I got so distracted there. Cookie DAO, 21.6 cents now, 118 million. In October, there will be more coins circulating. So at this exact same price, you're probably going to be at like, I don't know, man, what, like 150 million, something like that, maybe. Nothing too crazy. So from 100, let's just pretend it's at 150 million. And I'll do the math, and I'll have it better for next time because Grok let me down here, man. Maybe I'll just start a new one because sometimes let's ask him again. How many cookie will exist in the circulating supply of Cookie DAO in October of 2025? Please, I'm not going to say please think. I'm just going to turn on think, and let's do that. We'll have you think, Grok, okay? Think about it. We'll get back to you. We'll probably have to think for a minute, but inevitably what I'm trying to do here is if we have $150 million in market cap, a 100x would equal about $15 billion. 200x is $30 billion. 400x is $60 billion. I'm just saying that when it comes to the end of the cycle, because that's what we were talking about, end of cycle, $20 is a very doable outcome. $100 is a very doable outcome. I mean, man, if we're talking about 100 to 400x capabilities, we look at this here, 100x is right there at $20, and that's from the current market cap, let alone if it was 150 million, right? 400x capabilities takes you all the way up to around a $90 price, around $100 price, really right up in the money zone here. I think anything and everything between about $20 and $100 is fair game by the end of the cycle for Cookie DAO, and it's worth 21.6 cents. That's all I was trying to say. And I wanted to validate that with Grok here, but he's taking his sweet time. So I'm going to end the video in just a second. I want to complete the thought here. I have a real habit of or a real compulsion to finish my thoughts if they're left incompleted. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Grok is thinking, man. He's thinking a lot. You know, I used to think that if he was thinking for over a minute, that meant I asked a good question. But I've come to find that that's actually not the case. I think whenever I just first started using Think, I used very basic questions. And now, like, you don't have to have sophisticated questions. I think a sophisticated question takes like 3 minutes or more, not a minute or more. And maybe even then, I mean, that doesn't actually define it as sophisticated. Maybe it's convoluted. I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging things that shouldn't even be judged as far as timing goes. I have to admit, though, this is taking longer than I thought it would. I don't know if anybody else uses Grok and puts them in think mode, but do you ever read this? It's like reading someone's impulsive thoughts. Like, it really is. It's like almost like the conversation inside the head before he actually says what he's going to say. It's just kind of, it's a lot. I don't read through all of it, but just some of it. It makes me laugh. It's like, it's kind of funny, kind of quirky. Just talking to himself. Yes, yes, yes. Final estimate. Thank you, Grok. 597 million tokens. We're at 547 million right now. So that's really, I said 150 million. That's not even going to be the same equivalence, I would think. Maybe. From 50 to 40. Probably not, but still. Something less than 150 million. But nonetheless, that just checks out with what I was trying. The whole reason I was doing that was just to validate that everything I'm saying checks out. Because some people come on the comments and they know what they're doing, but the people who don't know what they're doing, I'm trying to protect them, right? When someone comes on the comments in my YouTube channel and says, yeah, but there's all these token unlocks and they're going to diminish the price and hurt the blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, man. That's even, I mean, yes, that is true to some degree. Anytime you unlock tokens and you mint new tokens that added to the circulating supply, it does hurt potential price in the future as far as growth potential goes. But it's not going to get in the way of any of these targets we talked about, right? Because even at $150 million valuation at the current price that we're at, we can still make sense out of a $60 billion market cap. $60 billion, $40 to $60 billion is a pretty doable range for a successful crypto, even in its first cycle. 20 to $60 billion is probably a more broad, doable range. And at $20 billion or more, we have 100x. I'm just saying from here, it's not just a possibility, but it's a likelihood, regardless of however many tokens get unlocked between now and the end of the year, that Cookie DAO will see at least 100x, if not a multi-100x. That's my thoughts, man. But I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. We kind of went around the block on this one, but I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.